So I'm gonna make this really quick. I see a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've talked to friends and I hear things like here and there about how sometimes people don't know how to be there for their friends, um, for a family member, for sometimes it's a coworker. There's a lot of instances in life where someone is gonna go to you for some type of just venting, or maybe they want advice, or maybe you're in a set of circumstances where they're in your life, you happen to be there, and they're pouring their hearts to you, or maybe they're depressed, or went through a breakup, like anything like that, or just having a bad day. I think um, and also this is for people who are like very empathetic and want to know how, or maybe you're just curious, like, and you're an empathetic person and you're just curious how you can be there for somebody. And I think I have a little bit a little tips, a little advice on it. I'm still not used to talking to the camera, so I stutter a lot. I don't know, I had this dream, and I was thinking about a conversation I had with somebody, and this person was venting, and the other person was just saying a lot of positive things. Like, why are you worrying about that? Like, it can be like this, or at least the upside is this. And like, they're really trying to make this person feel better. But I think if we can just like picture somebody who's in a dark place, like, when you're in a theater and you are in the dark for a while, and then when you go outside like straight to the sunlight, it kind of hurts. It's not a good feeling. And I think that can be an example for how it feels to be someone who is upset or someone who's in a dark place, and how it would feel for someone to have like a light just shine right in their face. And that's like the positivity. Like, you think someone's sad, maybe I'm just gonna say a lot of positive things. And I think there isn't a lot of pressure for the other person to say something miraculous or something positive to make this person feel better. It's more validating and more comforting to just listen to that person. Like, really listen to what they're going through and just say, I understand that you feel these things. Or I may not understand like the reasons why you feel this, and I'm sorry that you're feeling this way, but like, you can talk to me. Or validate their feelings, tell them it's okay that they're feeling the way they're feeling. Just sit and actually listen and allow them and give them permission to be in that moment. A lot of people go through adversity and these moments in life that aren't so great for a reason. And if they're put in some set of circumstances to experience that, and really, one time I was talking to my friend, I was just letting her talk, and she started crying. I was like, no, it's okay, like, you can cry, it's okay, like you're upset, like, you're sad. And she said, I'm surprised she said this, but she told me, like, thank you for giving me permission to cry, and thank you for allowing me to feel what I feel. And I think, if you are listening to somebody and you're thinking in your head, what am I gonna say to what they're saying, I think that's not like the best way to listen. You need to really listen to what this person is saying and see where they're coming from. And yeah, and then you can like let it sink in and say, you know what, yeah, like, that really does suck. Or like, I can understand like why you're being affected by this. Or, you know what, it's okay, like, we all have hard times, and it's okay to be upset about these things. And even though it might take a while to get over, or that you're uncomfortable experiencing this pain, you're gonna get something out of it. And yeah, because a lot of times when people are venting, I don't think they actually want somebody just to come right back and say like, things are gonna be okay, things are gonna be, because when you're so upset, you don't want to think about the positive side. You don't want to think about it because you're so stuck in it, and you can't see it. So when someone is trying to tell you these good things, it's kind of frustrating, and it makes the person feel like, am I not allowed to feel these negative emotions because there's a positive side to it? You know, like they think, like a lot of people think that if you're down or you're feeling things are negative, then it's a bad thing. But really experiencing and like really feeling what emotions you're having can expand your awareness and depth inside of you, and if it goes deeper, like you're digging deeper inside to see, you know, like you're going through something that you don't want to just wash over with some positive mantra, or things are just going to be okay. Like it's always, yeah, it's nice to be reminded, like, you know, like it's going to be okay, but it's okay that you're feeling this, or like I'm here to listen to you, you know. So basically just allowing that person to be in that state of unhappiness, and allowing them and giving them permission to feel what they're feeling, and just being there for them. You don't have to be a tool. You don't have to give advice. You don't have to be positive because this person is feeling down. You need to be somebody that they can talk to and feel comfortable to say, this is how I'm feeling, and I know I should be feeling this way or this way. It's like there's no rule on how someone should feel. So you can experience what you're experiencing now. And I think it is kind of unhealthy when somebody is going through something painful, and you're just trying to cover it up with like really positive things. That's not what most people are looking for when they're in it, you know. Maybe when like they've when they've calmed down, you can say like, I understand how you can feel this way, but I want to let you know that like this isn't gonna last. This feeling isn't going to stay forever. And I'm sure you've been through, look how far you've come, or you've been through hard times before, and you've gone through them, and you can get through this, and things like that, things that are very light, because I think it's just very important to like recognize somebody's sadness, and not feel uncomfortable, and just know that you just listening to them is really helpful. And for you empaths out there, that to recognize that this pain is not your pain, because if it was your pain, then you would have experienced it in life. If that pain was meant for you, then you would have gone through what they've gone through, or whatever. And just don't identify or sink yourself too much into the other person's sadness, because then you aren't in a good state to be there for them if you're upset. And I have that issue, and I'm still trying to find you know, different mechanisms or different remedies to not like absorb people's emotions or sadness, because I have a really difficult time with that, and it can be really painful. But I think to recognize that this pain belongs to them and it doesn't belong to you, and the best thing that you can do is just to listen to them. And you can ask, like, also some people don't like to be touched when they're upset, some people do, but they don't want to ask. So you'd be like, can I hug you? Or is it okay if I like hold your hand? Or I don't know. I just know, like, no matter how hard somebody is, no matter how hard someone's shell is, if you sit there and you say, like, is it okay for me to hug you? And if they say no, like, don't feel rejected, because they're gonna feel loved that you even asked, you know? Because I used to kind of do that, like, no, like, I don't want to hug, but like, I felt really happy that they asked and I felt loved. But yeah, I think I'm still learning ways to not disassociate, but to not dive so deep into, like, whenever someone comes to me or wants to vent. Sometimes I feel so much empathy that it hurts me. But empathy is good, but like not so much if it feels like a wound that you have to like repair later, because that's their wound, and you are just you're just someone that is willing to listen, and that's the best you can do, is listen, be there for them, do little things that they like, or I don't know. Yeah, so I hopefully I didn't talk in like a full circle. I probably did, but yeah, I think a lot of times we also need to not recognize, we cannot, when someone tells you how they're feeling, you shouldn't focus on the reason too much. Just focus on the feeling, on the fact that they're hurting right now, because sometimes people cannot understand why they're upset because of the reason. They'll be like, why is this person upset? Like, it was just this, or like, this person's really upset, but it's because of that. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, or that's you being misunderstanding towards other people. If this is a wound and this is like the reason, a lot of people skip the wound and look at the reason, and if the reason isn't enough for you, then it's like, oh, the wound doesn't matter. Like, I guess the reason why they're sad it's not good enough for me, so like, I'm just gonna let them like deal with whatever they're feeling, like, or whatever. I don't know if this is making any sense, but just but like, recognize that this person is hurting. It doesn't matter if it's a person that is privileged, and that it's like a really small, minuscule thing in their life, and maybe it's something that you think would be like, oh, whatever, like, that wouldn't hurt my feelings. But if it hurts their feelings, if they're feeling pain, and it's hard to understand, like, you don't have to understand why this person is feeling pain. You don't have to dissect the reasons why this person is depressed, or why they're sad or upset or disappointed. Like, just recognize that this person is in pain, no matter social class, gender, whatever. You know, if you care for this person and they're coming to you and sharing something with you, maybe you can ask them, like, oh, why does this upset you? And then they can explain why. I'm like, okay. And even if you don't understand it, just listen to them, you know? Yeah, so I think that's it. My hair is crazy, but yeah, I think that's the last thing I just wanted to say. It's just, I think this is like the most like calm and level-minded I was compared to my other videos. They're kind of like random and really, like, I don't know, sometimes I run out of things to say, and then I feel like I just fill them up with fillers. But yeah, that's it. I kind of wanted to do like a fast like a disclaimer thing. I'm not saying that it's not like a good thing to be like this positive person when somebody's being all down, I'm just saying, like, when they're actually really in it, it's usually not helpful to be like this uppity type of like, it's gonna be okay, keep being positive, things like that. Like, if your friend is the kind of person that wants like that, you know, like if that's like their style and you know them well enough, then go ahead and you do that. Or you can ask them, like, do you want me to just listen, or do you want some advice? And first listen, like I said, and then like when it sinks in, and if you have like some really good advice or something that you've read, or something that has helped you, you can share all these things. You could recommend them a book, a podcast, I don't know, things like that. You can send them like music when you're not with them that you think that they like, or things like that. But by all means, be as positive as you want, but just know, like, or just go off like how they are, how you know your friend best, hopefully. Or you can just ask them questions like of like, how can I be there for you, you know? But yeah, I didn't want to like say like to the people who have like really good advice to be like, oh, she's saying that you shouldn't, you know, be positive, or whatever. But that's not what I'm saying. It's just things that I have found helpful in my life, and that have worked for me, and through like my friends and the people that I meet along, and what they've told me, like what works repeatedly over again, like what I see like results in, basically like, oh, this person felt better because I did this, or this person told me about a time that they felt better because of this, or whatever, you know. Yeah, but that's it.